Cameron Munster sidelined with finger injury after Melbourne Storm's win in NRL season opener. What if the sweetest victory could fracture in the space of a single fingertip, teaching a warrior that even the unbreakable must learn the grace of stillness? AAMI Park hums under a Melbourne dusk in March 2026, the sky bruised violet above the Yarra's slow bend, the stands a restless ocean of purple and navy. The NRL season opener has just ended, Storm 26, Warriors 20, and the home crowd lingers in the afterglow, scarves aloft, voices raw from singing the anthem that still echoes off the steel roof. Cameron Munster, the Storm's mercurial 5'8", stands on the halfway line, arms raised in triumph, sweat glistening like stardust on his forearms. He has orchestrated the win with a try, 2 assists, and a field goal that kissed the crossbar and fell kindly. Yet beneath the roar, his left hand hangs oddly, fingers curled in quiet protest. Please like, share, and subscribe for more sport talk content. The moment arrives not in the spotlight, but in the tunnel's dim fluorescence. Munster reaches to high-five a young fan who has darted past security. His pinky catches the edge of the railing. A pop, sharp as a starter's gun. The smile freezes. Pain flashes across his face like lightning behind clouds. He pulls the hand close, cradling it as if it were a wounded bird. Teammates gather. Harry Grant, the captain, sees the swelling bloom instantly, purple rising beneath the skin like storm clouds. Coach Craig Bellamy, ever the stoic, places a steady hand on Munster's shoulder. "How bad?" he asks, voice low. Munster tries to laugh it off. "Just a nick, Bellyac." But the tremor betrays him. The physio's face says everything. This is no nick. X-rays in the club's medical room confirm the fracture. A clean break through the proximal phalanx, the finger bent at an angle no athlete should see. Munster stares at the screen, the black line slicing through white bone. For the first time in his career, the man who has played through broken ribs and torn hamstrings is told to stop. 6 weeks, minimum. The emotional crest breaks in the quiet of the change room. Munster sits alone on the bench, ice pack pressed to the finger, jersey still soaked with victory. A single tear escapes, not from pain, but from the sudden silence where his heartbeat used to race. Ryan Papenhuyzen, his closest mate, sits beside him. No words, just presence. The room empties slowly, leaving the echo of boots on concrete. The news spreads before the team bus leaves the car park. Munster injured trends within minutes. Storm fans flood X with prayers and memes. Munster's finger photoshopped into a splint shaped like the Premiership Cup. Warriors supporters, gracious in defeat, post "hate to see it, get well, wizard." The clip of the high five gone wrong loops endlessly on 9 News, slow to reveal the exact moment joy turned to jolt. In the days that follow, the injury becomes metaphor. Melbourne's spiritual home has always been resilience, born in the shadow of the 1999 salary cap scandal, forged in Bellamy's unrelenting forge. Munster, the larrikin who arrived as a teenage prodigy from Rockhampton, embodies that spirit. His absence is not just tactical, it is tectonic. The finger, so small, carries the weight of legacy. It is the same digit that flicked the pass for Cooper Cronk's grand final try in 2017, the one that pointed to the sky after his 2020 Premiership clinching field goal. Now wrapped in fiberglass, it becomes a symbol of fragility in a game that demands invincibility. Historically, the Storm have thrived in adversity. Think Smith's broken arm in 2008, Slater's shoulder reconstructions. Munster's setback joins the pantheon, a reminder that greatness is not the absence of breaks, but the art of bending without shattering. The club releases a statement. Cam will use this time to mentor the next generation. The finger sideline becomes a teacher. The aftermath deepens in the suburbs. School kids in Storm jumpers tape their own pinkies in solidarity. A local cafe names a coffee the Munster Mocha, bitter, bold, with a shot of resilience. On Talkback Radio, callers debate not the win, but the man. He'll come back hungrier, says one. He's learning patience, says another. The conversation shifts from stats to soul. This is sport's quiet curriculum. Interruption as instructor. Munster, the showman who once danced through defenses, must now watch from the stands. The finger forces stillness, and in stillness, perspective. He sees the game differently. Line speed from the sideline, the weight of a pass in slow motion. The injury is not punishment, it is pause. We reflect on the values etched in the break. Courage is not only in the carry, but in the carry-on. Humility arrives not in defeat, but in dependence. Munster needing help to tie his shoes, to open a water bottle. The finger teaches what no coach can, that bravery is not the absence of pain, but the presence of purpose. Legacy is not measured in games played, but in games given. Munster's absence will test the Storm's depth, but his presence in the box, voice guiding Jarome Hughes, eyes reading defenses, will shape the season more than any try. The finger, once a weapon, becomes a wand. In the quiet of rehabilitation, Munster journals for the first time. Day 3, he writes, learned I can't scratch my own back. Also learned the boys listen when I shut up. Weird. The entries grow longer, deeper. He watches old footage, not of his highlights, but of his errors. The finger forces reflection, and reflection forges wisdom. Later, in a press conference with the splint still gleaming, he speaks. I thought the season started with a win. Turns out it started with a crack. Taught me the game's bigger than my hands. Papenhuyzen, asked about leadership, says Cam's not here to play. He's here to pass it on. That's the real magic. Bellamy, ever economical, adds, injuries don't define players. What they do next does. Grant, the captain, smiles. He's already planning his comeback speech. Says it'll be short. Thanks for holding the fort. Now move. These are not platitudes. They are promises kept in the dark. So as the Storm march on without their maestro, remember this. The finger that broke in victory will heal in legacy. Cameron Munster will return, not as the same player, but as a better man. And when he does, the roar will not just be for the tries to come, but for the stillness that taught him how to truly play. The season opener was not the story. The sidelining was. Because in the silence between snaps, a champion learned the loudest lesson of all. Sometimes the greatest play is learning to wait. If you want, I can now compile all 6 of your sports stories, Katoa, Haumau, Riley Davies, Munster, and the Ashes, into a single epic timeline, keeping every word exactly, showing the evolution of heroism, injury, loyalty, and leadership from 23-2026.